And we're off. So the first area of the game is called House. This serves as a tutorial area where you have to pick up items and learn some basic puzzle solving strategies, the first of which is inputting a code. You can view the code by looking at the remote control in the window reflection, and the code is different every single time. The runners here use colorblind mode to simplify the reading process. Now here on Laurie's screen, you'll see an item combination. This happens a lot. You can combine items to make new ones, and that's required a few times over the course of the run. So it looks like Laurie's movement was a bit cleaner than Baister's. There's about 5 seconds between the two players, approximately. Also, I'm not sure if it's on my end or not, but the game audio is quite quiet, but I can still hear it. So one interesting thing about this part is that even though you're holding the light bulb in your hands, you still have to equip it in the pause menu. It seems kind of redundant, but I would have to assume it's an RPG Maker limitation. It's weird. So now both players are going to be entering the first area of the game, which is the Barrens. This is a very dark, very dull, very sad part of the world. And that giant structure is the tower. The world in this game is a circle, and we start on the outermost part of the circle, and we work our way inwards towards the tower. And first, the runners are going to be talking to an entity known as ProfitBot. This bot is going to fill Nico in on all the information about this world and what their objective is and stuff like that. But we're only required to answer one question, or to ask one question. And that familiarizes the player with Nico. The way this game works, without spoiling too much, is that Nico is aware that you're playing the game and you're working together to solve puzzles. It's really meta, and I think it's really creative. Lots of text mashing involved here. You got Laurie advertising her SoundCloud. So yeah, one neat quirk about this game. Oh wait, Baister's ahead. What? Okay. As I was saying, one neat quirk about this game is that whenever you sleep in a bed, it saves your progress and it closes down the game, and you have to restart the game to get back into the story. You'll be seeing a lot of resetting over the course of the run, and since this game does not have an in-game timer, load times are accounted for. Though if anyone wanted to make a timer that took out all the loading times, that would be pretty sweet. But so far, that's not really much of a problem because the game does launch really fast. So what Baister's doing right now is fast travel manipulation. If you go into a new tile, fast travel to the previous one, and then go back to the one you originally started on, you will spawn in a different position, and oftentimes that will put you ahead, and it saves a lot of walking time. So the mashing in this game, at least I think it's not purely about speed. Speed in mashing is really important, but there's also a slight rhythm you have to follow as well. So right now, the players have met Silver, who is an important character in this game. And we're going to the mines to pick up a camera lens. We'll be using the camera lens to power the generator in just a few moments here. You'll see some item combination there. Look at the sync on these two players for that brief moment. This is really close. This is very close. Oh, Baister having a little bit of trouble with combination, but he does get the generator slightly before Laurie. This is still incredibly close. So this is probably my favorite section of the run, technically. You have to open up a text editor to get a safe code of which you plug into the safe. There's a few ways you can do it. You can use Notepad++, which would automatically refresh the file. So all you would have to do is Alt-Tab into Notepad and then Alt-Tab back, and the code will be updated. You can also use File Explorer to preview the code ahead of time, apparently. But those two methods don't lose any time over each other, and it's one of the most creative things I've ever seen. It's crazy. Yeah, I see that, Bill. I don't have control over the layouts, so that might be Joshua's. So since the game does not have diagonal movement, you can be a little creative with your step routing. Because as long as you go up, you can go vertically up and horizontal. If it's the same amount of steps at the very end, it won't lose time no matter in which order you do your steps. If that made any sense at all. But yeah, both players are still close. Baister having a slight lead over Laurie by just a few seconds. So here is another hard item combination coming up. If you're not familiar with where all the items are in a menu, you're going to have a really hard time with this. And even experienced players mess up on this from time to time. So now you got the acid and the sponge, and then you'll get a wet sponge by combining the two. And you'll use the wet sponge to clean off the robot, which is spelled R-O-W-B-O-T, because he is in a sailboat. Or in a rowboat, actually, more fittingly. And this boat is how the players are going to advance in the next section. So getting this boat moving is the main objective. But since cleaning off the robot wasn't sufficient enough, we'll have to get an amber, but from silver, which will override the robot's GPS capabilities. And now we have the longest tech smashing stretch in the entire game. You can just go full out here for about 10-15 seconds. And with that, the Barons is over. The Glen's going to be a lot more happy, a lot more cheerful. I also want to take a moment and appreciate the transition screens here. These were made by Night Margin, who made all of the art for this game, and she did a very good job at it. I'm really impressed. You know, these two racers, I knew it was going to be close, but they're essentially even, give or take a few seconds. Anything can happen, especially late game. There's a few things in late game that can really change things up, depending on how the runners handle it. It's going to be really interesting to see. Again, we get another nice panoramic image. It's currently sold out, but you can buy one of the panoramics on Fangamer as a poster. And right here, the two players are going to be meeting a character called Calamus, who has lost his sister Alula. So our main objective right now is to go find Alula. But before we do that, we have to take care of a character who needs a sun for warmth. They're just lying in the forest, dying away. It's really grim, actually. But yeah, players are going to be walking around for a bit. Let's see if we can get that timer corrected real fast. So previously, there was an issue with the game where it would crash whenever you would press confirm and cancel on the same frame during a dialogue option. And this would happen a lot in speedruns because you're mashing so quickly that sometimes you just hit both buttons at very similar times on accident. And it would essentially kill your run. And fortunately, it was recently patched by the developers. So now the players can mash as much as they want without any repercussions. So here is the light bulb puzzle. You have to step on tiles to make what looks like a light bulb. Baister having a little bit of trouble with it, but you can see that the light bulb is formed. Laurie actually just took the lead back from that puzzle alone. Laurie is very slightly in the lead here. Very interesting turn of events here. So now Alula is part of our party. And before we return her to Calamus, we're going to go and do the Ram puzzle. The Ram puzzle is really fun, and I'll explain it as we get into it. So this is the shepherd, and they want us to get all of their rams in the right position. So the goal of the puzzle is to put all the rams into the dark spots on the grass. And there's some really interesting routing done here. For a while, it wasn't known what was the fastest method, but Laurie's method was really dang fast. Baister also doing a good job. I think he used a slightly different route, but I might be wrong. Alright, let me explain what happened on Laurie's feed. So she said no to the trader, and instead of immediately getting the item she needed, she also got the novelty t-shirt, which might mess up the menuing later. Might slow down her combinations. But none of them said no to this conversation with Calamus and Alula. Since both players picked yes, you automatically get teleported to their house. But if you pick no, you have to walk there yourself. And that is tremendously slower. It's about 15 to 20 seconds lost. So Crudes, right now, things are pretty dang close. Laurie just took back the lead from Baister. And they're only a few seconds apart right now. So now we have the sun back. Unfortunately, the character we gave it to passed away and left behind her seed. For 100%, you would have to take the seed and do a side quest with it, but it's not required for any percent, so we just leave it behind. So now we have the sun. We finished everything with Calamus and Alula. We can go to the gate, sleep, and move on to the final area of OneShot. Baister also going to sleep a few seconds later. This is very close. This is amazing to watch. I'm on the edge of my seat right now. So to move on to the last part of the Glen, or the last part of the game, I meant, you have to get a pen to sign a contract. You can get the feather from Calmus and Lula, and you also have the ink. And the runners just combine those to make the pen. You cannot progress without the pen here. So here's an interesting little bit of trivia. It's possible to go out of bounds in this area. The outside area, I meant. But it's not possible to clip back inbounds. If there was a way to clip back inbounds, we could possibly skip the entirety of the Glen. Although there are some requirements later in the game that might prohibit that. But as of right now, I'm not sure. It would still be interesting regardless. So this is the refuge. It's a very urban environment. We're currently up in the sky, and we have to make our way downtown. But to do that, we have to use an elevator. Unfortunately, the only elevator here is broken, so it's our task right now to go fix it. And we can do this with the help of the lamplighter, who's also trying to get downtown. There's going to be some more fast travel manipulation right here. Right now, you're mainly setting up for some later collection, but you can go into the cafe and grab that immediately. And then the players will just go back to sleep. All right, we got 1651 on Laurie for the bed. So there's about 8 seconds between the two players. Or actually, even less. I think Baister might have faster load times. This is very close. So interesting bit about the bed there, you're not supposed to fast travel indoors. But for some reason, that little room there is not considered indoors for some reason. So you can just fast travel out of it immediately and save some walking distance. So the runners are running around the refuge, grabbing scissors and magnets, all to make the elevator button work again. There's going to be an intense item combination segment coming up where the players are going to have to do a few combinations in a row, much like the Shrimp Swamp back in the Barrens. Laurie's doing a bit of it right now. Scissors in the can, then the magnets in the button, and with that you get a magnetized button. It might look like Baister's ahead, but Baister has yet to do the combination. So we'll have to wait and see if he can speed that up a little bit. Oh, Baister went to the wrong warp point. That's going to set him back a little bit. So now that the players have the button made, you have to just tape it together, and then you can put it in the elevator. If you don't tape the button together, if you try to put it in the elevator, you'll get an item called "You Tried." And I find that rather funny. So right here, you have to enter an elevator code. It's always going to be the same, 63014. It is not randomized like some of the other codes we've seen in this run so far. This elevator section on Laurie's screen takes a while, and there are two ways of getting past it. You can either answer all of the Lamplighter's questions, or you can resume the awkward silence at the very bottom. It's actually faster to go through all of the questions than to sit out the awkward silence. And with that, both players are going to be setting up for the biggest skip in the entire run, which is Kip Skip. This skips a huge amount of time in this section because you have to get a library card, along with other things you have to do. So the player's going to be setting up for all the fast travels. There's going to be some fast travels later. And once the players do that, they can go to the library and perform Kip Skip. In the library, there's an invisible barrier preventing you from going to the back of the library, where you have to meet a character named George. If you walk into the invisible barrier preventing you from accessing the area, you can, or if you walk into it and close the game at the same time, you can just walk past the barrier once the game reloads. And now you're George without getting the library card. Did Baister soft lock? Uh-oh, that's not good. I hope his excuse me. I hope his game's frozen on the stream, and I hope that's not a soft lock. Yeah, his timer stopped. Wow. Well, Baister's done. If he didn't prepare a backup save, his run's over. Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Let me explain why that happens. The timing for Kip Skip is rather precise. Once you have the muscle memory for it down, it's not that difficult to mess up, but if you get the timing a little too late or a little too early, you can get stuck inside the barrier and you won't be able to move at all. There's no way to fix it without deleting your save. So to win, all Laurie has to do is finish. That's all she has to do to win this. So the refuge is over right now, and now we're about to enter the tower, the long-awaited tower. The thing we've been chasing for so long. And this is very puzzle-based. There's going to be some really complex puzzles coming up that can really throw some runners off. There's going to be some mazes, some door numbers, doors you have to walk through, as well as more tile puzzles coming up. You can memorize all the solutions for these rather easily, but it is easy to mess up if you have one wrong input. Was that a custom sprite I saw? No. So yeah, the computer's communicating with Nico, telling them that the player has ended their mission and they're done. But actually, that's not what's happening here. There's a bit of a conflict here. But if you open up the Clover program after Nico goes to sleep, you can re-enter the game again and progress. You're not supposed to do this. If you don't have the Clover program open, then the game will prevent you from progressing, because you're not supposed to communicate with Nico. So here's where the puzzles come in, first of which is the maze. All the puzzles in this section are the same every time. As I mentioned, you can just memorize all the solutions. However, even though Baister may have lost this race, there is still going to be at least one more. This is a best of 3 tournament. So Baister has another chance to redeem himself. Laurie doing pretty good on the doors here. Pretty soon she'll be moving on to the tile puzzles. The tile puzzles, you know the solutions from them if you have the Clover program open. You're supposed to equip a Clover in your inventory. You open the Clover program and align it with the game window, and it'll show you which tiles you have to press. It's very unique, very creative. And coming up is the last puzzle. This is the hardest one. You have to draw a light bulb in the tiles. This one can be really confusing. But Laurie has it down. Oh, actually, a little bit of trouble here. But yeah, Laurie has it. So now we have the light bulb back, and now Laurie just has to run to the end. The game's pretty much over here. We have about another minute left in the run. That's mostly going to be comprised of walking and mashing through Windows dialog boxes. One interesting tidbit here is that the default binds for this game do not allow you to press enter without pulling up your inventory. Since this game runs an RPG Maker, you can easily rebind that enter key away from the inventory button. So this is the last elevator, and pretty soon Nika will be returning the sun to the tower, and the game will end. Yeah, this is just for the round. Baister still has at least one more race. Baister did soft lock on the on the puzzle there. And Laurie has won with a 27-20. That is really good. That is a really good time, especially for a race. Now Laurie has her first point. So we'll be setting up for the next race in just a few moments here. Until the soft lock, it was really close. So I bet we'll have another close race coming up for this next round. What happens if both people soft lock? That is a very good question. I would assume it would be a draw. Because both players lose. Unless one of them wants to load a backup file. Hopefully that won't be something that comes up. But yes, we will be back in just a few moments. Do not go anywhere. Get ready for some more one shot. That's a very good suggestion, Bat. There is nothing stopping them. Maybe if both players soft lock, they would just restart the game in that same run and just go from there. You're not required to stream the out-of-monitor stuff like Notepad or the Clover program. Some players like to use a monitor capture so they can capture the Windows pop-ups that occur, but for the sake of the leaderboard, you just have to have your game open. It's preference. If players needed to restart their run from a double soft lock, we do have the time for it today. The schedule is a little open here on Speed Gaming 3. But yeah, don't soft lock on Kip Skip. That's very important. All right, looks like the runners are getting ready in just a few moments. All right, both runners are ready. We'll be doing the countdown in a few moments. The runners have started. We're just waiting for the stream to catch. The way that would work, Bill, in my eyes, would be the in-game timer would not go forwards whenever the game isn't open. Essentially, that way it would eliminate any time where the game is not open. Because if you have a hard drive or an SSD, your load times are going to be a little different. Oh, look at this sync here. Amazing sync. Both players having a better house than last time. Look at that. Both getting sub 40 doors. There are no RNG soft locks. They're all consistent if you do them. The Kip Skip soft lock is purely from timing. One thing that many players do is instead of sprinting into the barrier, they walk into it, making the window you have to close the game a lot bigger. But in this game, there aren't any loading screens, except for one, when you go from the Barrens to the Glen. That is the only loading screen that I can remember in this entire game. So yeah, Laurie has a slight lead over Baister. Not by very much, though. It's incredibly close. I have an SSD in my computer, And I also tried a RAM disk, and they are exactly the same speed in terms of loading this game in particular. Durbil went from a hard drive to an SSD and saw some, or a hard drive to a RAM disk, and he saw some really good improvements in load times. Yeah, Bill, I'll point it out when the runners get to it. It's after you go into the boat. Laurie loves conductor. Shoutouts to all the A Hat in Time fans in the chat. If you know A Hat in Time, you definitely know who that character is. Looks like Baister was able to mash a little bit faster than Laurie. Looks like the gap has slightly decreased between the two players. This is impressive. I knew it was going to be close. I love races like these between players of such similar skill levels. It's always so much fun to watch. So yeah, again, they're going to go to silver, get some stuff, then go to the mines. Lots of fast traveling abuse and tech smashing and item combination in this area. The usual. I'd say there's less than 2 seconds between the two players right now. 2 seconds or less. It's hard to estimate. So the way mashing works in this game, to mash fast, you have to press 2 buttons instead of 1. There's the confirm button and the cancel button. And if you press those rapidly, you'll get some really crazy fast tech smashing. So here we got the complex item combination. Baister did really good on the combo there. Got some time back from Laurie, it looks like. There's 1 second between the two players. Holy smokes, look at that. Now we have the safe code coming up. We'll see how their codes look. They're even! They're exactly even. Assuming the timers are synced on the feed I'm watching. But Baister has a slight lead, I think. It's really hard to tell. Actually, wait a minute. Timers are slightly off, so Laurie might have it. Laurie got the code first before Baister. I didn't pay attention to any of their codes. 638, 323, and then on Baister's end, I'm not sure what his code was. Yeah, Bill, it actually slows down mashing when you do it that way. That was the first thing I tried when I learned this game. Oh, Baister missed a sponge. Had to walk back a few steps. So yeah, player's going to get the syringe and then go to the shrimp swamp where there's going to be a lot of item combination to make the wet sponge to clean off the robot. The robot in this game is often referred to as Phil Swift because it has a rowboat. If you've seen any of the flex tape commercials, you would know that boats are a pretty big meme in that. You saw a boat in half and repair it with flex tape. And that's exactly what we do here. So you combine the smoke, the syringe, the acid, and the sponge to get that the wet sponge. Baister having a very similar combo time. Looks like he didn't lose really anything from that. We'll see how this mashing section turns out. Ooh, the gap is so small. This is so close. They're even. They're pretty much even right now. Have a look at this sink. Have you ever seen anything like this? This is incredible. Ooh, Baister was slightly faster. Ever so slightly faster on the stream here. Although I think the timers are still messed up. I'm not sure why they have not been synced, but it's okay because 1 second is still so little time. All right, this is what I'm talking about, Bill. After this cutscene, you'll see a small black screen for a few seconds. And that's what I think is a slight loading screen, but I might be wrong. It's mainly the... Yeah. If I have to go frame counting, that's gonna be crazy. Did Baister have a shorter load there? Oh no, Baister messed up the movement into the structure there. Laurie has a definite lead by about 2 seconds here, going into the Glen. This is wild. So again, you have to go find Alula, drop off the sun to the dying spirit, and go do the Ram puzzle. Free Alula. Looks like Baister is catching up again. Oh, thanks for the confirmation on that, Clear. Yeah, that's what I figured, but it's good to know for sure. Yeah, look at this sink right here. Only a second off between the two players. Let's see if we can get those timers synced real fast. So now that they dropped off the sun, they just have to go free Alula, do the Ram puzzle, and go visit Calmus and Alula. Both runners do the light bulb puzzle slightly differently, so we'll see if any of them mess up here. Laurie, ooh, messed up very slightly on that. Baister did get some ground back. So they are... Laurie's still technically ahead. I'm working through this desync here. There's still about a second between the two players. I'm trying to see if we can get those timers synced up, but until then, I can work with it. So if you weren't here for the first race, the shepherd needs you to herd up all of the rams. You could do that by pushing them into the dark spots on the grass. There's a couple different ways you can do the puzzle, but there is a fastest way that requires the least amount of steps. Looks like Baister is losing time here. Yeah, Baister is a couple seconds off now. Laurie still has a decent lead right here. But, oh! Ooh, that was bad. That was a bad mistake. So Laurie didn't equip the wool and could not trade with the trader. And Baister did. Alright, both players said yes to Calmus and Alula, and they're even again. This is insane. Alright, I'll switch audio over to Baister for now. Because I think he is technically ahead. Even though they're pretty much identical. So yeah, we're just finishing up the Glen here. Getting the feather, and then player's gonna have to go grab the light bulb again. This is crazy. Yeah, I thought that was a really cute moment. API. I really like the writing in this game. The narrative in general is really outstanding, especially when you take into account the New Game Plus stuff, which is not included in any percent. There is a separate category that does an any percent run and a New Game Plus run, all in the same run. I don't want to talk too much about it because it's really heavily spoiler territory, and if you haven't played it, I'd recommend you go do that first, but it makes sense why you would do both at once. Alright, Baister's still ahead, I think. Did Laurie do the combination yet? Oh, she did not. Alright, yeah, Baister is absolutely in the lead here. So now players are going into the final area of the Glen, just mere seconds apart from each other. Final area of the Glen? I meant final area of the game, which is the refuge. This could end either way. The racers are so close right now. Maybe we'll need another frame count. Nah, the way the barrier works, it's not the same as the kip skip barrier, so you can't do that same execution on that. However, you can go out of bounds in that same area with the gate, but you can't clip back in bounds. Also, I heard that the game checks that you have certain items at the very end of the game from all of the areas. So a skip like that might not even be worth it if it was found. Alright, Baister going back in at 1647. Laurie going in at 1651, 4 seconds apart from these two players. I don't know what would happen. Does anyone know what happens if you don't have them all? I haven't tried it out personally. I just know that the game wouldn't let you do it. We're just close. I wonder why that is. Because to clear the area anyway, to enter the refuge at all, you have to get the feather. I'm not sure how anyone could make pass on accident. I don't know, it's weird. Ooh, Baister had a really good combo there. Right now he's significantly ahead of Laurie. Actually, it may not be as big as I thought because Laurie already did the combo before him. But still, he is in the lead. It's weird, didn't play the whirring down sound effect. Ooh, Baister didn't enter the code immediately. Accidentally clicked out of it. And Laurie was able to get a heck ton of time back on that. There's about 2 seconds apart. 2-3 seconds apart. The timers are still desynced. This is a race, all right. Yeah, I'm talking Konosumi. I'm flying solo today. Oh, look at that sync. The sync is back. There's actually about 1 second between Laurie and Baister, with Laurie leading. But on the stream, they are perfectly synced. The players are setting up for Kip Skip. They're going to get some fast travels before going to the library and doing the biggest skip in the entire game. This is where Baister soft locked last time and lost the race. Ooh, this is going to be... Look at this. 2 players going into Kip Skip at the same time. Will Baister run into the barrier and mess it up? I hope not. Ooh, we'll see what happens. Baister gets out of it. Laurie gets out of it. No soft locks today. Baister going with a lead. A very small lead into George. Baister talked to George again for some reason. And Laurie is in the lead ever so slightly. Yeah, Bill, I've ran many times at GDQ. I also run OneShot, which was submitted for GDQ but got rejected, unfortunately. I'll be trying to get this game into Calithon. Baister and I are going to do a submission together. Alright, Laurie is setting up for Kip Skip 2. Baister's about to go for Kip Skip 2. Looks like Laurie got it. That setup looked really good. I don't know about Baister. That might be good, actually. Yep, they're both good. Awesome. No soft locks. Thank goodness, we have a race to the end here. So Nico is hungry, wants pancakes, but we're not giving it to Nico because pancakes are very slow. And we have a race to do. The last section of the game is the tower, and there's a lot of puzzles here. There's going to be some tile puzzles, a big maze, and numbered doors that you have to go through. It's very well possible that any player can mess up here. It's very easy to mess up. Yeah, Baister really had the light bulbs going into the kip skip running. Seriously. This is crazy pace. They're both synced. Laurie is 1 second ahead because of the timer differences, but still 1 second is nothing in this game. But on the stream, they're perfectly synced. It looks like Laurie is mashing slightly faster. We'll have to see what happens. All right. Oh, no, they're the same. All right. Well, now we'll find out if the load times are any different between the two players for sure. Holy moly. This is crazy. All right, Baister has faster loads. Baister's taken the lead right back from Laurie. I'm not sure if Baister's using a RAM disk or not. I don't know what Laurie's setup is either, but whatever it is, Baister is slightly faster. So the players right now are even. On the stream, there's a second difference, but the timers are also not synced. The timers are 1 second apart. So we have the maze here. All the puzzles at the end are exactly the same. So you just have to memorize the solutions. All right. Oh, this is crazy. Ooh, Baister had a movement error going into that door there. But Laurie is holding her ground. Wait, did Laurie go in the wrong door? Oh, no. What's happening? I think Laurie went into the wrong door. Oh, no. Oh, that's bad. That is going to give Baister the win, most likely. Yeah, this door part is really confusing. Because if you go into the wrong door and don't go out immediately, you can get lost super easily. That is very unfortunate. But Laurie did make her way through the doors. But Baister's already finishing up the last puzzle. Oh, and he messes up the last corner of the light bulb. Getting him a few seconds lost there, but Baister still has it. It's safe to assume that Baister will take the win because from here you just have to walk to the end pretty much. So unless something crazy happens, Baister will be taking this win and we'll be moving into round 3. Also, Baister's on 26 pace. I'm pretty sure he's on 26 pace. This is a 27:07, his current PB. He will PB this. There's no way. There's no way he won't. I'm pretty sure there isn't a minute between this part and the end. Is it gonna be a mid-high 26? Is this a Laurie bop right here? Because Laurie has a 26:42. Ooh, this is gonna be close. Oh no, it's not a Laurie bop. However, it's gonna be very close. Baister is securing the 26 with a 26:51, 2, 3. That was a 26:53. That's a new PB from Baister. Baister is now the 5th person to join the sub 27 club. API, there aren't any strat differences. There's just better mashing and faster item combos. But yeah, Baister gave it his all in that match, and so did Laurie. Laurie did really good too, getting a 27-21. That was exactly the same time that she got on her last run, give or take a second. That was insane. That was a fun race. I am hyped. So yeah, we just have game 3 coming up. We'll be setting it up in just a few moments. And that will decide the winner of this round. It's really surprising how much time mashing saves. You may think it might not save a lot, but it adds up big time. Big time. Because right now, world record is a 25-10, and Baister's run was almost a 27. A little bit less than 2 minutes between the two players. Almost just for mashing and item combination, as well as overall cleaner movement. This game has a really high skill ceiling. It does not clear. The developers, for example, the safe code, the computer password is randomly generated at a certain point. Same with the safe code. So it would not be possible to manipulate it, so you don't have to check. They're completely random from what I can tell. I'm pretty sure there's not a pool of codes that gets reused over and over again. Wow. Wow, that was something. Yeah, I'm just saying what the developers have said. But it would be really cool if it was able to be manipulated somehow. So yeah, we're just waiting on the racers to ready up. And this will be the last round for today. Whoever wins this match takes it all. And they will be advancing through the bracket. You can view the bracket in the link via the link in chat. So the winner of this race will go against the winner of Crudes and Chris, which will happen on Saturday, November 3rd. Three, two, one, go. I'm really excited to see how this one turns out. The racers have started, but we're waiting for the stream to catch up. And they're off. Let's see what kind of codes they get. Excuse me. Both correct codes. Baister getting in slightly before Laurie. Actually, okay. Timers are a little bit more synced this time, but it's not perfect. It's okay. Both of them having very good houses. Very minimal mistakes. Wait, what did Baister do? Baister opened up the item menu on accident, looks like. And with that, both players are moving into the Barons. Chris created the modern one-shot metagame. Yeah, one thing I want to talk about is how some players use controller. Whom is DS uses controller. And even though it may not be the most practical input method, he is still able to be ridiculously fast with it. So if you don't like keyboard, maybe controller's worth trying out. But most players use keyboard and mouse because you have to interact with closing the window, and the Windows dialog makes it a little bit easier. Yeet dab. Attention, all one-shot gamers. Nico is in great danger. And they need your help. If you haven't seen that, let me go link that video in chat. I just have to link it. It is too good. Durville commissioned VoiceOver Pete to make a one-shot themed meme. Speedrunning meme, that is. But yeah, it looks like Baister has taken the lead. Yeah, I tried contacting staff about it, but I didn't get a response. It's okay. It's not that far off. It's about half a second or so. It's okay. But yeah, Baister's lead is really good right now, actually. 0.4, 0.5, yeah, close enough. All right, Baister's combos. Crowbar was good. Almost talked to the manual on accident. All right, Baister finishing up his combo. Laurie finishing up her combo. Laurie got a lot of time back, but Baister is still in the lead by just a little bit. So yeah, they have to go look in Notepad to find out what the safe code is, and we'll see what kind of codes they get. This could change the gap here. That was a 3475. Ooh, that was not a good code from Baister. The way the codes work in this game, the outer numbers 1, 2, 3, 9, 8, 7 are numbers you want to get because they require the least amount of inputs. Numbers like 4, 5, and 6 take a lot of inputs to reach. Because you have to scroll up and down through the numbers. So it can be annoying. But Laurie is in the lead. Laurie with the comeback. Oh, Laurie did not get the sponge. But they're still pretty much even. Yeah, look at this. Have a look at that sync. Got another item combo coming up here in a few moments. Laurie getting the smoke and the syringe. Baister working on the acid and sponge. Both of them get really good combos, perfect fast travels. The gap has increased very slightly, but this is still insanely close so far. Oh, Baister went to the... Oh, Baister messed up the fast travel. But they're even. Look at this. They're perfectly even going into the Glen. Perfectly even. Look at that. These two players are amazing. Never a dull moment in their races so far. Baister... Alright, loads are about the same there. Ooh, Laurie messed up the pathing for that just a little bit. Just a little bit. Giving Baister about a half-second lead. So yeah, same deal. You gotta go find a Lula, drop off the light bulb, do some fast traveling. So this robot right here can walk right in front of you whenever it wants. So if it does that, you have to waste a few tiles walking around it. Actually, it does look like the timers are still not synced. Just a little bit. So I'd say maybe Laurie or Baister slightly ahead. It is really too close to call, seriously. It does not API. But walking around the robot increases the amount of steps you have to take. That's what I meant by it. Or it does cost frames. But doesn't Nico instantly turn whenever you want them to? Because to me it looks like there's no penalty for just turning. Alright, light bulb puzzle. See how the players do. Baister and Laurie with perfect execution. Laurie slightly closer to Alula. That might give her the lead here. Alright, Laurie had slightly faster mashing, and she is back in the lead. Ever so slightly. Oh, Laurie went back into the dungeon for a moment there. That's not good. They're still synced though. All right, Laurie had some difficulties with the shepherd. Now Baister's in the lead. We'll see how he does on the ram puzzle. Laurie is really good at the ram puzzle. Haven't seen really any mistakes from her. But Baister has it in the bag, and so does Laurie. All right, hopefully. Oh, did Baister? Baister did not equip the wool. All right, he went back and did it. I'll get you. Take the offer. They both took the offer. Not getting the novelty T-shirt. Let's hope they don't say no to Calamus and Alula. Yeah, what is Baister's... Yeah, I don't know what his splits are for his last race. Actually, I could probably go pull it up. There isn't really that much to talk about at the moment. Got a long cutscene here. All right, let's see. Where are we at? So I will go ahead and grab his Glen sleep time from here. So Baister had about 14:21 going to sleep. And we'll see what time his game reopens. All right, high 14:26. Keep that in mind for Baister. That is when the dream sequence appears on his feed. However, I'm not sure if he's going to get it. It's hard to tell, but it's still going to be close. All right, remember, high 14:26. Baister is on pace with his PB. With his new PB, that is. Baister is playing super well today, and Laurie is also playing really good. Both of them are on sub 27 pace as of right now. But yes, Baister was slightly faster. He still has the lead. So now this is the last main area of the game, the refuge. Before we go downtown, we have to fix the elevator. Get that by getting a bunch of components that you make into a button. So we have to do a lot of running around, and the player's going to be setting up some fast travels. And then going to sleep once again. Even though Baister is ahead by a couple seconds, anything can happen. Especially in the tower. We've seen how the tower can mess people up, and it can happen to either player. And plus we got Kip Skip. If somebody soft locks on Kip Skip, it's all over. But yeah, Baister. That's amazing that he was able to get that sub 27 live on speed gaming. Sub 27 is a big deal. 27 anything is already considered a really good time. And a 26 is when really high range. Baister and Laurie now both have 26 times. I'm not sure what happened to Laurie. I wasn't paying that close attention to the mistakes she made, but they're still relatively close, even if they are maybe 10 seconds behind, 10 seconds apart. Got the metal can, the scissors. And now they have the elevator code, and they're going to be going downstairs. Well, not downstairs, because they're taking an elevator, but you get what I mean. It's going to be wild. Do. All right, Baister's going for Kip Skip. That was rather late, but see if he's soft locked. He's good. Laurie's also going for Kip Skip. Yeah, Baister is in the lead still. So now Baister is going to be going to the tower. And it looks like he's setting it up to win. But anything can happen. And again, there's going to be a bunch of puzzles here. Well, let's see how the players do on tile puzzles and the doors. Laurie messed up doors last time. Baister and Laurie have also had a little bit of trouble on the tiles. Everybody has trouble on tiles. Everybody has trouble on tiles. Oh yeah, I never checked. Let me check what Baister's time was going into the tile puzzles, if I can get that quick enough. All right, I can get it at the end of doors. That would be a little more convenient. So Baister exited the doors at, let's find out, 24:29. So let's see if he's ahead or behind of his PB. Baister's 6 seconds ahead of his PB right now. 6 seconds ahead. I just confirmed that. Ooh, Baister messing up the light bulb puzzle very slightly. Laurie's also having a little bit of... But that recovery was really strong. Oh no, Baister! Ooh, is this going to be it? That cost him the PV. Ooh, I don't know. That might have been it for his PV. All right, let me check the time again. All right, 25:40 is when he exited the hallway. He's still 5 seconds ahead. That is crazy. Come on, Baister. Come on, Baister, you can do it. But hey, Laurie's been playing great too. I'm not discounting her at all. Laurie has been really consistent, and that really shows. Baister is just having a really good day today. All right. Ooh, this is gonna be close. $26.54 was his last PB. $26.49. That is a double PB from Baister. And he wins the round. That is the very first double PB in the entire tournament. That is so wild. Huge congrats to Baister. Let's see if we can get them in for an interview.
Hello.
Double PB.
Yeah, something like that.
What happened, dude? You went from the 27 club to the double 26 in 1 hour and a half.
I played the game quickly, and my best went down by like 5 seconds during the tournament during this one set.
Where did you save the most time off of your PB?
Robot both times to save like 8 seconds during that first PB.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, robot, and then just tower as well. I had like 10 seconds time saving tower.
Yeah, that was an amazing run. You two were neck and neck the whole entire time.
I'm excited to watch it.
It was so much fun. All of the races, you two were very close. Unfortunately, we had that soft lock.
Yeah.
That skip soft lock.
I was a little frustrated after the upper refuge. I just rushed it.
And now we have Laurie joining us for the interview as well.
GG, Laurie.
Yeah, Laurie.
That was a fun set.
You were really of that set.
You were really consistent.
No, I wasn't. That was an awful set. Game 1, I messed up just about every split in the book in a completely different way. From having the game load slowly to, like, I think I talked to George like 3 times after I was supposed to stop. Set 1 was awful. Set 2 was good, but the game dropped my down input, so I messed up the doors.
Yeah, it's happened.
And then I got lost in the doors. And then game 3 in general was just kind of garbage. I got 5 seconds worth of golds in game 2 though, so that was probably the best one. 5 seconds
the golds this set. Especially, like, I saved like 3 seconds over my golds in robot.
But this match was really fun to watch. You two were really close almost the entire time.
Yeah, I had the stream up on my phone, and there were several times between all 3 games. It was basically just sync.
That'll be fun to watch.
It was really, really fun to watch. But yeah, congrats on the win, Baister.
Thank you.
You will be moving on, facing the winner of Crudes and Chris.
Losing to the winner of Crudes and Chris. Crudes who beat me winners, round 1. Good times. Yeah, GG's, Laurie.
Yeah.
But do any of you have anything else you want to add about your runs or about anything one-shot?
I have a marathon run on November. I don't remember the exact date. Let me check.
Oh yeah, like November 2nd or something?
No, it's the 2nd weekend.
Oh.
Okay, so tomorrow's the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. It's 4th was the Sunday, so the 11th.
11th, yeah.
After that run, though, I am taking a very long break from this game.
I guess I'm not because I have a race next week.
Yeah, I just
To lose,
want
and then I'll be
done
done.
with this game, honestly.
But yeah, definitely check out Laurie's marathon run coming up. It's gonna be really fun.
Yes.
Also, Kona, this loss from me ruins your perfect bracket prediction.
It does.
Oh no!
Yeah, Kona was the only one with the perfect bracket left.
The only person who predicted whom would win
Mhm.
against Crudes.
Except I think Crudes didn't push bracket. That's right. Crudes didn't believe in himself though.
I don't remember. I don't think Crudes has an
No,
official. I don't
He
remember.
didn't make an official prediction, but he thought he would lose.
Yeah. But like this was a race that could have gone either way because like I think the
Definitely.
technical favorite was me with 3-2, but like you said you were mostly doing it out of ego, and I was also just doing it out of ego.
Exactly.
So
I
it's big.
truly believed you were going to win. Like if I really had to like think about it.
I mean, but you got 2 PBs.
I got
so
2 PBs, but
You
I've been
definitely deserve that. I feel.
yeah. Thank you. I've been waiting for these PBs for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
huge congrats, Baister. That's a
Thank you.
huge accomplishment.
I got like
You-
three low 27s in a row.
You are probably gonna bot me by the time your next race happens, if not during your next race.
During my next race versus Crudes.
I mean, that would be cool, even though
That'd be
Crudes
fun.
is, you know, the
I don't know
world
how much
record
time I'm gonna
holder.
have. Yeah, I'm not sure how much time I'm gonna have to do like actual PB attempts, but hopefully I get some time in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. I'm excited to play Crudes. He got pretty much every run he's had this tournament's been a 25, if not every run, so it'll be something to play against.
Looking forward, the next race will be on Saturday, November 3rd at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be Derbil versus Whom. That's going to be a really
Yes.
fun match.
Yeah,
Both
that's gonna be
highly
the
skilled
that is
players.
winners
upper bracket finals.
The winner of that's going to get a game advantage and move on to grand finals.
And
Yeah,
then 2 hours after that, we have Chris versus Crudes.
will determine your opponent. So,
So yeah,
Awesome.
definitely check those out if you like today's matches. They're going to be really fun, as always. That's all I got to say. Do any of you two want to add anything else before we leave?
GG's one more time, Laurie. Thank you for commentating, Kona.
find where cords are. I have stuff all over my desk. Hold up.
But yeah, go check out the runners, Baister
hear me?
and LaurieDBunnykins.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess since I'm out, I gotta sound cool or something. This was something I really wanted to happen for a while, even when the community wasn't really big enough to even get 8 people together to do it. And even though I'm eliminated as early as I am, which is honestly earlier than I was hoping, I'm just really happy to see that we're going into the 3rd round and the tournament has still been running really well with a lot of excitement, not only in, but also some outside the community. And so I'm really grateful that not only is this an event I got to participate in, but it's one that I had the pleasure to organize, and I hope the rest of it goes well.
Yeah, this
Thank you for
tournament
that,
has been amazing. Thank you, Laurie.
You
It
know,
is
from the
definitely-
double soft lock race to the race I literally had to frame count.
I thought I was going to have to frame count one of your races.
Was that the second one? Because I was like on the same pace that Baister PB did before I messed up doors.
Yeah, that was. I was like on PB pace. I was like, I really hope Laurie's not on PB pace also, because then I'm screwed.
Yeah, no, if I had been on PB pace for any of those races.
Yeah.
I mean, I might have been on PB pace like game 2 at Tower Sleep. I was like, no, wait. No, I would have been on like high or like low 5x pace. 26 5x pace. Would not have been on 25 pace. It looks like a lot of the races coming up for the rest of the day, though, are going to be happening at 9 and onward.
Mhm.
We exclusively have randomizers the rest of the day. So if you like randomizers, make sure to check out Speed Gaming 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I have nothing else.
Anything you want to add, Baister?
Nope.
All right. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Definitely check out the runners, as I said previously, baister09 and LaurieDBunnykins. You can find the Discord for one-shot speedrunning on the speedrun.com page.
Yep.
This community is really great, and if you like the game, maybe consider running it. And that is all. See you next time.
Bye.
See ya.